Hello, and welcome back to another Cabincast Ramble with Oliver and Tan.
Hello.
We are here with more Steven Universe, as you well know.
Indeed.
Still in season 2. Over halfway now, though. So this is that. Starting with Nightmare Hospital. Sadie's song. That's probably it.
Probably.
Because then we get into the Peridot heavy episodes.
The last one we did was Friendship.
It was. And we finally got the reconciliation between Pearl and Garnet, and everything went kind of back to normal.
Yeah.
Which
that kind
was
of concluded that arc, I guess.
Indeed. They did conclude that 5-episode arc. If you count quite for help at least. But yeah. So these two episodes are. This one's quite important.
Nightmare Hospital.
Mm-hmm. The next one is a Taiwanese episode.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, Sadie's song.
Yeah, but it is an interesting one, as we realized before we started recording, to follow immediately after Nightmare Hospital, because they both involve mothers.
Indeed.
And not quite potentially understanding what their child wants.
Yeah, it's a great situation for Steven to be in, considering he
also that
didn't have one. Whoops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these episodes are very linked. They're sort of not quite polar opposites, but they're a bit like that.
They are,
as we'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, Nightmare Hospital. This one we start with Lion bringing Connie and Steven back home. From wherever they were.
Presumably sword training, but we're not quite sure.
Indeed. Yeah, I think so. And you see Connie put her glasses back on because, well, since
indirect kiss.
I was gonna say since Steven spat on her, but yeah, that's better. I couldn't remember exactly. I couldn't remember exactly how it happened, but I knew it was his spit. And I was like, so that means he. But no, you're right. That's how it happened.
Drank from the same juice box.
From the same juice box. So anyway, she hasn't needed her glasses. Her eyesight has been healed to assumedly 2020. But I guess we don't know.
Yeah,
for sure.
50-20.
Yeah.
I
guess it's not been. Yeah. I guess it's not been like too long that her glasses haven't been not working, surely, because otherwise, if she's been going to the optician, she's really been faking it. To try and make her eyesight miraculously cured.
I'm trying to pretend like when they say 1 or 2, that's got to be tricky.
Yeah. But then Steven's like, your sword.
It's true. It's a nice move from Steven.
It is. It really is.
To allow Connie to practice the sword fighting while not with Pearl.
Indeed.
Unfortunately.
They don't quite understand the old timey accents.
Well,
That's
yes,
gonna
that's
get it,
not the only,
unfortunately, but
unfortunately. But
it's an
yeah,
F
that is true.
on the end of everything. But yeah, more importantly, it's a big sword, and
Steven's seen Connie's parents a little bit,
yeah,
but not that much.
Yeah.
This is sort of a conclusion to the preludes. Wait, hold on. It's the bit that other moments have been.
the climax.
Yeah, the one, what, fusion cuisine. That one.
Yes.
That one, for
Yeah, you're back.
example.
You were breaking up a little bit,
Oh no.
but you're back now. To be fair, you were breaking up as you were just trying to figure out what on earth you were saying, so it was fine. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Fusion cuisine.
fusion
Have
cuisine. Yeah, exactly.
the first not only understand Connie's parents and the beginnings of their character development, but also
Yes.
Connie's development, because she does also have that flaw. She keeps lying to her parents about Stephen, and it keeps going wrong.
Yep. Yeah. You're breaking up a little bit again, but yeah.
Oh no.
We've not had this problem for a long time, so it was inevitable it was going to come back eventually, I guess.
Since I moved.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Might be because I moved.
Yeah, maybe. Well, hopefully it'll be fine. Again, like I still made out most of that. So yeah, fusion cuisine is when we first get Connie's parents and any real development on them, the Maheshwarans. Yeah, but also Connie is very much a child who is affected by her relationship with her parents directly.
Yeah.
Which I mean, Stephen is too, but in a very different way. Like he gets his gem powers from his mum, and he gets his musical talents from his dad.
But neither of them really sort of.
But it's not like Greg's like, now you're gonna practice guitar for 2 hours. Now write me a song by 6 o'clock this evening.
Yeah.
And all that kind of
Stephen's
stuff.
dad was not strict. That's
Not
for
strict,
sure.
whereas Connie's parents, and specifically Connie's mum, at least in this episode, are
Yeah.
more
I don't know about
more
Doug.
strict.
I think he's like
Doug
the
Doug
beta
seemed very
male.
strict. Yeah, no, yeah. Doug seemed very strict in the first episode we saw him in, but then based on the security episode that he shows up in, I'm much less sure. So he's just like, oh, Geo, no, it's gone wrong. Someone's in here, and oh, help.
Yeah. He's got his own little like. It's like, oh, look how cool my profession is. Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
it's not.
Oh, poor Doug.
Sorry, Doug.
Also his driving is not good.
Yeah, and his name's Doug. Sorry to
And
all
his name's
Dougs.
Doug. Doug is a great name, but
Doug's a great name.
yeah. Hi, my name
It
is
gives me
Doug.
serious Doug
Will you be
vibes.
my friend? Yeah. That was an up reference for you.
I see. Been a while since I saw that.
Doug is the dog.
Ah,
That is the outcast from all the other dogs.
I see.
So yeah. Well, you're not going to get that reference because you've not seen that film yet. I don't think because it's a Marvel film.
Yeah.
But
It's not a Marvel film.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you mean.
No,
Yeah.
Doug is not. Yeah. You're right. There's another film. Well, we'll get there. It's fine. But then suddenly, Mrs. Maheshwaran shows up,
Yeah.
and Connie, the master liar that she is just playing her violin sweetly. Stephen who cannot lie, as we know, and cannot do well under pressure yet. Looks very
Indeed.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Also, if you look around the room, there's a bunch of pictures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's one on like the left hand side of the wall, which I think is like a family picture. And then there's two like small portraits on the right hand side. One of a man that looks very much like Mr. Maheshwaran, and the other one of a woman in like a is it a sari? Like a traditional like headdress kind of thing. Indian headdress, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. I think is a thing you wear or you can wear at your wedding. So maybe they're wedding photos. Just
Oh,
a
maybe.
thing I noticed and was like, oh, cool. That might be what those are. And if it's the case, then it's cool that they put that much thought into it instead of just having her in like a white wedding dress.
That's a nice
And if
detail.
that's yeah, if I'm not reading too much into it, which is possible. But and then the thing he's wearing might also, because he's not wearing just a suit, it might also be some kind of traditional dress that I'm less familiar with. But yeah, just something I noticed while Stephen's looking absolutely terrified about everything. And yes, they've disguised the sword as a coat rack.
Yes.
And
They've put hats and scarves and coats on it.
Yep.
But Dr. Maheshwaran does notice that after describing something mysterious which has happened at the hospital.
Yeah, she's having a lot of work and stuff.
Yeah. Which,
And
of course, you can't divulge because that sort of thing is confidential.
Indeed. And yeah, she did put her coat on the coat rack and then was like, hang on, we don't have a coat rack. What's this? And then her eyes bulge out her head. Because it is a sword. She's like, oh no, why have you got a sword?
Yeah.
How could this
Stephen
happen?
begins to try and explain it.
Mm-hmm.
But then Connie, unfortunately, lies to her and says she just sort of found it on the street, which is kind of worse.
Yep.
Because at least if it was Stephen's, Dr. Maheshwaran can just say, well, I mean, I suppose she'd probably say,
Thank
don't
you.
hang around with Stephen.
Yeah, which they already tried. And
they've already tried.
Yeah.
I can understand the thought
yeah.
process, but
for sure. And I mean, actually, in this angle, we get a view of some more pictures as well.
Oh yeah.
So there's a picture of Mr. and Mrs. Maheshwaran with Connie in the middle. There's a picture of the three of them standing next to some like trees and a snowman. There's a picture of them like from further away, which looks like to be on the beach or something. And then there's a picture of what looks like Mrs. Maheshwaran pregnant, assumedly with Connie. Which again, just very cool attention to detail.
Yeah.
That I had not noticed before.
I wonder if that was there in
Sofas are covered
Winter
in flower
Forecast.
patterns, and they're kind of ugly. I'll be honest. Yeah, true. I wonder indeed. But yeah, like you said, she lies to her again. And so she puts the sword in her bag, and then she gets a call from the hospital.
Yeah.
And she has to return.
From good old Dr. Strongberg.
Indeed, Dr. Strongberg. And yeah, so they lost Rose's sword.
Yeah.
Bit of a problem. And Connie's like, right.
Yeah. Priyanka didn't
Go
really
back.
give Connie much time to actually explain it further as well, though, to be fair.
No.
To Connie.
What is her name again?
Priyanka Maheshwaran.
Priyanka. Because yeah, Priyanka probably, yeah. Priyanka and Doug.
Yeah. They go well together.
Did he take her name?
I don't know. I haven't asked them.
Feels like he maybe took her name. That would reinforce the beta male theory, I guess. But
yeah.
Anyway, they head to the hospital. They leave Lion with a lion liquor.
Yeah.
Because he likes those, and it will keep him occupied. And they head into the hospital, which looks abandoned.
It does.
When they first go in, and then it's not. But
it just is that
very creepy.
They just turn the lights down.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's nighttime, so yeah, that's always lower anyway. So hospitals do look quite creepy like that. They're just really like big-eyed shot.
Yeah.
And they hold hands, and then they sneak in, and then they hide from the front desk person, and then all the doctors that are suddenly everywhere. And then they see Connie's mum. Because, of course, they took Lion, so they actually got there before her.
They did. They just they hide from Connie's mum as she walks past.
Indeed. And she's still on the phone.
And you hear some weird noises coming from the room.
Do.
Some perhaps familiar noises.
Indeed.
But we're getting in ahead of ourselves.
We are. I mean, I remember the first time I watched this, and I was like, is Connie's mum evil? Is she somehow involved? Like, beyond obviously just them being patients. Because like some of the stuff he says makes it kind of sound that way as well.
Dr. Stromberg is actually Yellow Diamond.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. But no, she's not. And she's still speaking, and she's checking out the patient. She's like, well, this is rather strange. Well, things considered, she takes it rather well, but then I guess she has seen gem fusions and stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she's seen a lot of things in her time.
Yeah. Very true.
Here's where Stephen mentions that he's not been at a hospital before.
Yes. Which is a thing.
Which is a thing.
Like, to be fair, I've not much. I was born in one.
True. I imagine Stephen wasn't.
See, yeah, Stephen wasn't. My brother wasn't either. He was born at home.
Ooh.
Yeah. But no, I was born in hospital. And then I had 3 operations as a child. So those were all fun, and they were happening in hospital. And then I had to go in a couple of times for asthma attacks, again when I was young.
How unfortunate.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate. But like since I have been in Horsham, so the past like 12 or something years, I've been to hospital, I think once or twice, and neither time for me. Just been going with someone else.
Yeah, I've been there reasonably frequently in contrast.
Yeah.
Classic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go through it all.
Yeah, no, I had surprisingly little to go through, so yeah. And there may be like asthma nurse appointments if they weren't at a doctor's or something, I guess. But in recent years, basically never. So Stephen not going at all, like, isn't beyond the realms of possibility, especially when you consider this is America.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
healthcare is expensive. Does Steven have healthcare?
I think his gem is his healthcare.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he does. So apart from the fact that he's a gem, probably helps. So yeah, actually makes perfect sense that he's never really been in hospital. He kind of just suddenly existed one day. How exactly? I'm very intrigued to see if we ever find out how that happened, because it still makes no sense.
I'm not sure I want the graphic scenes of
But
Stephen
also, I
being
don't
born.
want it. Yeah, exactly.
I'm fine with keeping that bit of the sort of like, what's it called?
Lore.
Like,
I don't know.
not immersion, but like, well, it doesn't
Sure, I know
matter.
what you mean.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's just one of those things that every now and again I'm like, yeah, how, what? And then I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. But it's just one of those things that pops into my mind every now and again. But yeah, there's a very strange patient who is like handcuffed to the gurney. I think it's called a gurney.
Gurney.
Or like
That
a
sounds like
hospital trolley.
a kind of strawberry. I see. That was a bit off.
A gurney sounds like a type of strawberry.
Yeah.
Huh. Fair enough. Yeah, a gurney is a wheeled stretcher used for transporting hospital patients.
Gotcha.
So yeah. And yeah, she's kind of like checking this patient out and stuff. Well, they're staring in and they see the sword, and then she's got her stethoscope on to listen to a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But there doesn't seem to be one. Which is
She concludes that maybe the stethoscope is not quite working right.
Broken somehow. Yeah.
And they try and enter the room.
They do. Because she leaves.
Yeah, at least to try and get more equipment.
Try and get another more equipment, yeah. But they keep seeing
do
the thing
indeed.
move. And then they get
They
caught.
manage to get it. But then she comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a little confrontation.
Yeah. And she's like, well, I'm taking you guys home. And then there's something in the corridor.
Dun dun dun. And she sort of acts casually as if it's just another patient.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess
but
it is.
Stephen, yeah, I guess, yes.
Stephen realizes it is a gem hybrid monster.
Yeah.
And
which
it attacks.
Begins attacking, yeah.
So they go back inside and close the door. And then the other gem fusion tries to get out as well, so she closes the things, and then Connie tries to get her sword back. But her mum will not let her have it. Which is both a very understandable but also infuriating scene.
a little bit.
And Connie is a bit infuriated.
Yeah, Connie wants to she wants to help, but her mum won't let her.
Yeah. And then the thing attacks.
Dun, dun, dun.
And grabs her. Luckily, Steven manages to get her out of there. But he can only do so much with shield.
Steven uses the shield. I don't know if Priyanka's in the shield yet, but I'm sure that must be a little bit of.
He has. Yeah.
Or at least it would be a culture shock if not for the things that are currently happening.
Indeed.
Are perhaps slightly more pressing.
Yeah. So she keeps trying to get the sword, and Priyanka keeps being like, no. She manages to distract one of them. and then they run away from the other one, which chases them down the ceiling, like it's running on the ceiling, but it's pretty creepy.
A little bit.
And then they are
interesting how Priyanka sort of ran out of excuses and ended up just having to say "Mother knows best" as the which is just, like, I guess, just saying, like, well, I don't have any arguments, but I don't want you to say anything else.
Mm-hmm. Which is a great song from Tangled.
I think I might remember that one, actually.
It's a perfect example of gaslighting.
Ooh boy.
Mother Gothel is not a nice mother, or in fact a mother at all. But that's a topic for another time. But yeah, they keep running on the first floor with an O in a triangle for Dr. Gavot and patient 20 or something. And there's also a picture with some trees and some mountains and a tree mountain, which is
tree mountain.
Yeah, it's in the mountains, but it looks like a tree.
I see.
Yeah, I'm just seeing things from scanning through the thing and pausing on things I've never noticed before. But yeah,
very cool.
The other gem fusion finds them as well, and so now they are surrounded by the gem fusions.
Yeah.
And Steven makes a bubble, which does a cool little like rose shape before it becomes a bubble. Which I'm not sure if
it's very cool.
But it's very cool.
I think we saw that in the first episode.
We may have done.
In like Bubble Buddies. As in, I mean, not
maybe
Gem Glow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because because we've seen the bubble a few times, but I don't know if we always see the rose.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, I guess maybe the whole bubble's not in shot, so we don't see it, but it does still happen, maybe. But yeah, the things are now just slamming into the bubble, and Connie is still pleading with her mum, and she's still saying no. And then Steven tries to get her to listen as well.
Yeah, Steven's kind of
Steven.
Yeah, Steven's like, I've kind of had it with this sort of back and forth. Maybe I should tell him actually what's going on.
Yeah, because Connie's still being quite vague about everything, which isn't helping. To be fair, but could you have Steven also? Oh yeah, carry on. So
Connie's mom thinks that she knows all of the things that Connie is doing, so Connie's saying that she can sword fight, but also at the same time just saying that she picked the sword off the ground up just now. Wouldn't make sense.
No, but it's like, to us it's infuriating. To them it's infuriating. But yeah, she's, based on what limited information she has, yeah, trying to keep the huge sword away from your daughter is still a very valid thing to do when she's not giving you any reason to believe that she can use it. But yeah, also, Steven's completely, he's speaking while also keeping the shield up without much of an issue, which is pretty impressive.
He has gotten a lot better.
He has got a lot better. But even
finally,
with this,
we get the bit.
Yeah.
We get the bit where Connie reveals that she doesn't need glasses.
She doesn't need glasses. Because Priyanka's talking about how she knows everything her daughter does, and that's not, one of the things. And yeah, she's like, you haven't even noticed that these have no frames in.
Yeah.
Which they do look pretty different. And she's like, "How did your eyes get better then? By magic?" And she's like, "Yes,
They did.
they did." And Steven's like, "Yeah." And now there's these gem monsters, and Steven, and I need to help him fight, and he's not paying attention.
They do some good
And
little
yeah,
slashy, some little fighty fight.
and then we get a little fight thing of them working together. It's pretty cool. And Steven bubbles the gem shards.
Indeed.
And
We
yeah,
cut to the next scene where presumably they have sort of explained a few things.
indeed. She still looks rather concerned, which is fair.
Yeah.
And then Lion.
And then Lion.
Which
Instead
again,
of
kind of terrifying.
must be a bit.
Yeah.
Instead of sort of going off on one and getting really angry, Priyanka just sort of like comes to a bit of a realization that maybe Connie's feelings are valid.
Maybe my
and that's
child's
sort of the
feelings are
difference
important.
between and that's I guess the difference between a parent who might make mistakes and be misguided and one who is just like abusive.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, the Mahesha ones want the best for Connie.
Yes.
It's not necessarily the best way to do it, the way they've been going about it, with just, essentially controlling a lot of her life. But it is all coming from a place of love.
It is.
And yeah. It's not like you get some parents who kind of, if they've got a child who becomes a child like singer or actor or something, and they kind of live vicariously through them almost, and they keep getting them to do these things and go to this stuff even if they don't really want to. And it's basically
like
they're telling them what they would want to do.
Yeah.
The beauty pageant ones, I think, are
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like
those
the
ones are just like,
Toddlers and Tiaras, the TV show.
yeah,
And stuff like that. Oh gosh.
it's
Awful.
It's a bit messed up. Like if they're at an age where they can make their own decision and they still want to do that, then that's fine. But
yeah,
it's not what's happening here though. And again, considering that Connie was also being very dishonest, again from an understandable place because she didn't want them to worry, but because she hadn't told them anything, that's why it was so hard for it to become relative. But also Bianca was so convinced that she did know what was going on about everything with her daughter's life, she wasn't actually paying enough attention either. But yeah, the fact that they could accept, she could accept what's going on and was, okay with it and didn't immediately shut it down does lend to, yeah, they obviously care about her.
Yeah. I mean,
Which again was never really in question, but.
I mean, I get it, from Connie's perspective. Being LGBT, like me, I kind of have to lie to my parents a lot.
Yeah. No, I can't imagine that's easy.
Yeah. That's just sort of what you have to do. And I imagine, like, getting caught up in magic stuff is a bit, can be a bit similar. It's like, you don't know how your parents are going to react to it.
Yeah.
Whether that'll be it or whether they'll be fine with it, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just what it's like. So I can understand Connie's
sure
willingness to lie about those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But it is a different situation,
Mm-hmm.
and like telling her parents that Stephen's family is just a normal family when they're not is a bit different.
A bit different. It's something that's affecting your relationship with someone else / their relationship with someone else. It's not affecting their relationship with you. So yeah, they're definitely similar, but yeah, I guess they're kind of a bit less personal. Like to an extent, much less of extent, but like when I decided I didn't think I wanted to go to uni, it did take me. Obviously, there's a time limit on that before it just become obvious that I wasn't planning on going to uni because I wouldn't have gone to uni.
You're just like sending pictures from without actually going to it. It's like, yeah.
Yep, this is where I am now. It's going well. Yeah, no, but like I was like stressed about bringing that up, and luckily that was absolutely fine, and that's again a much lesser example, but again it's yeah.
No, I've done similar things. Because I don't really like to bring up being LGBT that often, so I'll go back to the uni example.
Sure.
Yeah, when I failed my first year of uni at Oxford,
yeah,
that took a while to bring up for me. That was
that's
something that I was kind of ashamed of and didn't want to bring up.
Yeah.
And I think I remember in the fusion cuisine, like Stephen was kind of hurt by getting the feeling that Connie was ashamed of him.
Mm-hmm.
And those feelings are understandable.
Yeah. And again, it's like very easy for him to misinterpret as well. Because obviously she wasn't ashamed, she just didn't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
But it can be very easy for things like that to get confused and stuff.
Priyanka Maheshwaran goes through a change. She sort of tries to be more open-minded.
She does.
And as they're having their lovely conversation, Stephen's just there in the background going like, I don't have a mum.
Don't have a mum.
And then he just he hugs the sword, and it's very sad.
It is sad. I'd not realised that before, but it's sad.
It is sad.
Sad.
Speaking
and that was 45 minutes on Nightmare Hospital.
Ooh. And speaking of hiding things from your parents, but in a completely different take.
Yeah.
Sadie's song.
Sadie's song. This is a Sadie episode, if you hadn't got that already.
Yeah. Although it's like partly a Sadie episode, or it's partly a Barbara episode, and it's partly a Stephen episode.
It is. It's a big old mix.
It's also not one that I enjoy watching that much.
No. No, it's a bit awkward.
I feel like
definitely so, but
this is an episode which would have worked well earlier, because this Stephen that appears in this episode is a bit more like the Stephen of the first season.
Mm-hmm.
From before all of this.
Yeah. I think it still fits here, but I know what you mean. To be fair, interestingly, so Nightmare Hospital is 1031-069. And then Sadie's song is -073.
Oh, so this was produced Or what? This could
This
have
was
potentially been aired 4 episodes later.
yeah. After Catch and Release, When It Rains, and Back to the Barn, but before Too Far.
Oh no, not sure about that one.
I
Not
guess
sure
in
about
the
that.
end they just kept all the Peridot stuff together, which makes more sense.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also,
Personally, I
Catch
probably
and
would have
Release
put
was
this in
released
season
on
1.
September 24th, which is right around my birthday, which is cool because it's one of my favorite episodes. But yeah,
Personally,
I agree. I agree.
there is a bit of tension in between, like, I think it's Lion 3, where you get Sadie talking about being embarrassed by the lunches her mum makes for her.
Yes.
And then calling her mum back later and saying, maybe I should have those lunches after seeing Stephen's mum's video to him.
Indeed. Indeed.
These 2 episodes would have gone well together.
They would have done. Obviously, it's entirely possible they had not thought of this episode when those came out.
Yeah.
And also it does still fit next to I'm a Hospital. As we talked
Thematically, yeah.
before, to do with the mum thing, and also just helps as a buffer before you get back into the Peridot stuff. Which
Indeed.
the rest of the season is after this episode.
So,
Yeah.
which where I said they were like polar opposites, Priyanka and Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
You have. And so, Priyanka's sort of the pull to Barbara's push.
Yeah.
Whereas Priyanka's like pulling things away from Connie. And, setting what Priyanka thinks she wants to do. Like setting her a timetable and strict rules and stuff.
Yeah.
Barbara's more like pushing her onto things.
Yeah.
So in the examples that Sadie gives later on in the episode, she's like, I said I'm like swimming at one point, so I was entered into the swimming team or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not necessarily that. Yeah. Yeah. I think I don't know. I think Priyanka and Barbara are actually similar as well.
They're like 2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah, they both want their child to do well.
Yes.
But their methods of doing it is, for Priyanka, from what we've heard and what we've seen, it's helping like Connie directly, but not. Makes sense. But like with timetables and all that kind of stuff, so that she can do the stuff that she wants to do. But it still goes through her. And granted, that does mean that everything's timetabled up, and so she doesn't always have quite the same connection. But whereas with Barbara, it's not through Sadie. She kind of does her own thing, which winds up being a thing that relates to Sadie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Cool. Hopefully, if anyone listens to this, they will too. Because it didn't explain it all that well. But if I know and you know, then that's good enough. So yeah, this episode starts with Stephen being at the Big Donut, and he's looking for someone to help. Because Lars has left. Because it's Lars.
Yeah, because he wants the Beachapalooza.
He
That's
does.
come back.
Another thing. Last year and the Beachapalooza, something else happened.
That was when Stephen cloned himself a bunch of times.
That's the one. Yeah.
By going back in time.
Oh yeah, the time travel episode.
Yeah.
Time travel / cloning episode that every cartoon show has.
Classic.
Indeed. But yeah, and he eventually finds Sadie in the back room, which don't just walk into the back rooms of stores, guys. It's usually not going to go down like this. As a general rule. But yeah, Sadie is singing along to a song and dancing along to a song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It is. It's a pretty good song. It's a pretty fun song.
Yeah, it's so good. They play it like 3 or 4 times.
It's
in the episode.
It's quite a few. To be fair, that might be why I dislike the song a bit by the end, because I've heard it too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's putting all these boxes away. It's also pretty impressive, like how well she's moving on a stool, because those things are not stable. And Steven's kind of like bopping along.
Yeah, he's vibing.
And he's like, yeah, woo. And she's so surprised that she just like straight up yeets the box she was holding to the ground. So rip that stock, I guess.
Many donuts have been
destroyed. And Steven's like, amazing.
Yeah, Steven tries to encourage her to sign up to the Beach Palooza to sing.
Mm-hmm. The singer in him, the musician in him, being like, yeah, good, you should do it. And she's kind of like, maybe. But Steven is very persuasive.
She's the kind of person to be embarrassed by her own performance on anything.
Yes. Embarrassed by her own success. Her own ability. And on the flip side, it seems kind of like maybe it's a thing that she does want to do and she has thought about, but she would never have the confidence to go about doing if someone like Steven didn't come along and be like, do it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, well, okay, because, she's got Steven there in this case, because she does fold fairly quickly.
I think that kind of embarrassment from your own creations is normally comes from that sort of self-worth.
For sure.
Like thinking that your things are like not good, and so people are just gonna laugh at them.
Yeah. Oh, the amazing. Again, we've not talked about this yet. We need to, but the in Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Oh yeah.
When they pop up a whole bunch of insecurities about the family on the screen for just a split second.
Yes.
And the Katie one being, I make videos about silly things because I'm worried if I make anything serious, people will not like it.
Oh boy.
Something along those lines. It's just like, it's just so good. I mean, in a really sad way, because she's incredibly talented, but yeah, we're not talking about that, but it reminded me of it because absolutely.
Relatable.
Yeah, people, confidence can be very dangerous, if you get too overconfident and you're too full of yourself. But if you have any degree of confidence, you should be very grateful because so many people, I imagine, there's so many amazing artists out there of whatever kind who just don't think that they've got any talent. Miss their calling, missed opportunity because they don't think anyone's gonna like want to listen or whatever, and not everyone's lucky enough to have someone there to hear them or see what they've done and encourage them to just still go for it.
Yeah, that's to all of you viewers out there. I don't want anyone saying they can't draw, because you can.
Yeah, anyone can draw.
If you don't have any arms, then that might be hard. But I'm sure
harder,
there's tools available.
There's a way. Yeah. But no, yeah, Sadie is exactly an example of I'm not that good at singing. No one's gonna want to hear me sing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess as you've gone on about it so much, Stephen. I guess we can try it, but no one's going to want to hear this. Yeah, which leads to Stephen meeting Sadie's house, going to Sadie's house.
Hello,
which
house.
is a basement beneath their house.
Although Sadie likes to think of it as a bunker. Bunkers are things that shelter you from
harm.
Well, harm and physical explosions, and in this case, metaphorical explosions, I guess?
Sure.
And that being explosions of enthusiasm from her mum.
Okay,
See what I did there?
I was like, I think my harm thing worked better, but no, you got there. You made it work. Yeah, we figured that out. Yeah, it's also just a very Sadie thing to think. And it's true. Why not call it a bunker instead of a basement? That makes much more sense. Even though if we're talking from a structural perspective, it's probably not a bunker.
Yeah.
Though there is sand everywhere, so that does help. These sand and bunkers, I think. But yeah, it's got quite a cool place. She's got some lights. She's got a lamp.
Got a massive pile of plush animals.
Massive pile of plushy animals, yeah.
Which one of them Sadie offers to Stephen, because she says they're not really a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Stephen does not want to break up a family, which I'm sure is not foreshadowing in any sense.
No, not at all.
No.
Of course not.
Ooh.
Cactus. It's got like a wardrobe and stuff. So it's pretty cool because this must have been converted into like a space from just being a basement.
I imagine Sadie requested to sleep in the basement rather than in a room.
Yeah. And again, Barb was like, well, yeah, sure, we'll do it. We'll make a massive cupboard in the wall. And
we'll make the gosh darn best basement ever.
Yeah. And it is a pretty cool basement, to be fair, so...
It is.
Yeah.
But then Stephen lived in a van, so his idea of what a cool place is to live is a little skewed.
Yeah. A van and a temple.
And a temple. A converted temple.
Oh. Yeah, there's lots of like pinks and blues in the room still, which is very she's got like dresses and things in the closet you can see, which is very different to the blacks and greys that she's wearing now.
That's true. Get the feeling that maybe she didn't have that much input in what her room looked like. Oh.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
World building.
Mm-hmm. The flip side, she does still have like bunny slippers and like a cat poster. So
yeah,
those
I'm
things.
Sure she's not entirely,
not completely past that, but yeah. And also Evil Bear 2, which is kind of a nice reference back to the fact that she likes the scary films. From that episode in the first season.
Oh gosh, Horror Club.
That's the one.
Yeah, the other one we talked for an hour about.
Yeah. That we didn't expect to.
The beginning of the downfall of Cabincast Rambles about Steven Universe.
Hey, it's not the downfall. It's given many more hours of content than we expected.
Yes, it has.
Indeed. Yeah, there's also a window at the top of this place, so I guess it's not like completely underground.
Yeah. I like those kinds of windows.
Yeah.
Is that a sneeze?
But yeah. That was a sneeze, yes.
Bless you.
It was. Thank you. She picks up two outfits. One's like a blue dress and one's beige. Yep, I'm gonna leave it at that. But then they hear a rumble. It's not a rumble, but they hear footsteps.
Bum bum bum. And Sadie immediately goes, Let's stop this.
Yeah.
Which Stephen perhaps doesn't understand.
He does not.
It turns out it's good old Barbara.
It's Barb, who... this is the first time that we ever confirmed that they're family, right?
I think so.
I think so. It's definitely a conclusion you could make based on their designs, but
Yes.
yeah, and she's very enthusiastic.
Very enthusiastic. She immediately gives
another
another
push.
stuffed animal to Sadie.
So you can see how the pile is going so big.
Yeah, and she doesn't quite grasp that Sadie's just putting them on a pile.
No. But yeah.
And yeah, Stephen learns that Barbara is Sadie's mum at this point as well. So
Yeah. He didn't know either, so indeed. But then
but then
Stephen mentions the singing.
many times.
And Stephen, classic Stephen, master of not getting hints. Even when Sadie is literally trying to cover up his face, stop him from speaking.
He just repeats it.
Continues speaking and repeats it. To which Barb gets very excited. It is good.
Yeah.
And Sadie's like, "Oh no."
Yeah. From the outset, when it's like zooming in on her face, you're like, oh geez, she's gonna like explode with anger or something. But no, she's just like, yeah, let's go.
And then she's very excited, and then she goes to all the things like, oh, she used to do ballet, she used to do swimming.
Yeah, yeah. And Sadie kind of brushes those off every time as well.
Yep. Because they're like little things that she was interested in.
Yeah.
Which
And
really
Sadie
got
quit
overblown.
after a while, except for with softball, which is apparently a thing that I haven't heard of. Unless it's like rounders, in which case, it's like rounders.
We played softball a couple of times at Forest.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
And
it's
that
a
one,
bit
she was
different, but
actually
it's
banned rather than leaving on her own.
Yeah.
Because Barbara punched an umpire.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, she's the stereotypical football mom, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Football parent. She's like, yeah, ain't no one gonna mess my son/daughter around.
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
And again, some level of enthusiasm. It's awesome.
Oh, of course.
But you can go too far.
Yeah, you can.
Like, there's a great video back when me and Ed used to do judo in primary school. And one of the judo competitions, there's a recording of one of Ed's fights. And you can just hear this very loud woman. Like, go Ed, get him down on the mat. Do it, you can do it, go. It's just so loud. It's like, thanks, Mum. Pretty great. Proof she didn't punch anyone, so yeah, that's good. But
did you just punch the little kid who's fighting? Just like, yeah.
Oh, you need to go down. Stay down.
Just stay down. That's for trying to fight.
I'm trying to fight my son. Yeah. No, but yeah. But and then unfortunately, even more so for Sadie, Stephen and Barb they're on the same wavelength.
They are.
Because Stephen is all for, planning fabulous and spectacular performances and all that kind of stuff. So
you get a cool montage.
We do get a cool montage
where the song plays again.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very cool.
And Sadie tries to do things with Stephen, and then Barb comes in, and Stephen's like, "Yeah, that." And then they get to try.
Like absolutely goes along with Barbara.
Try small heels, and they don't go too well. And then they give her bigger heels and bigger heels. And then there's just Stephen and Barb talking, with Sadie just looking very concerned. And then them both choreographing the dances, and Sadie trying to leave, and them just doing a whole bunch of makeup, which Steven's clearly had to teach himself, I guess, because no one else has done that. Because the gems don't use makeup.
No, that's true.
Greg doesn't use makeup. And I don't think Connie really uses makeup, so...
That's true. Steven's just like...
Some self-taught Steven makeup things there, I guess. Which, again, is not surprising.
Not too surprising. He's got a lot of spare time on his hands.
He does. But yeah, and so we just sort of... Sadie just staring into this mirror. We don't get to see her actual face yet. But she looks very different. And Steven and Barb are still talking about how amazing and great everything's going to be. Cut to the Beachapalooza.
Well, Sadie requests to be anonymous, perhaps, and then they say she's to be a surprise, which just makes things worse. Because that would be putting more attention on her.
Yeah,
which
anonymous
is exactly what she didn't want to happen.
Are very different. So yeah, the Beachapalooza starts. We've got Fryman and Pizza Fryman equivalent. I've completely forgotten his name.
Pizza Fryman equivalent.
Yeah, as in the owner of Fish Pizza.
I mean, you got Kiki and Nanof.
Yeah, no, but the dad.
It's a good question. What is the dad called?
So like
Kofi?
Kofi, that's it, I think, yeah. You got them standing together. This is before their war, right?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, but they're standing together. Then you've got the cool kids and Lars.
You saying Lars isn't cool?
Lars, by his own admission, isn't cool.
Yeah.
And you've got PD kind of just standing by himself.
Yeah, because Ronaldo is going to be an act. You've got Mayor Dewey sitting looking rather bored at I'm guessing the ticket stand or something. I'm guessing.
And then you've got a few randos.
Is the suitcase man there?
Suitcase Sam is not here.
Oh no!
There's a couple. I think it's a couple with a kid.
Maybe.
Could be a couple. Could be a couple of friends. Could be a gay couple. Honestly, not sure. There's not enough detail.
But for Beach City standards, this place is packed.
It's pretty packed, yeah. And there's a guy with the sleeveless shirt on. And Mr. Smiley's on the stage.
Indeed.
And he's the umpire. That's not the right word, but the presenter.
The show host?
The show host, that's the best word for it. It's 2 words, but ignore that. Yeah, the first act is Nanafwa and Kiki.
Yep.
Which is hilarious.
And they
pretending to be a puppet.
Yeah. They tell 2 jokes and leave.
They do.
Which is a very quick show.
It is.
And then...
But we've only got 10 minutes, so...
I guess they had to get as much time in as possible for Ronaldo Fryman's lecture on rock people.
It's true. The rock people are very important.
It's true.
It is. It's true.
So Stephen and Barbara are fawning over how Sadie's going to be real famous.
They are doing that.
And even Mr. Smiley is surprised at this.
Indeed.
And Sadie is seeming a little bit anxious, maybe.
A little bit. She also looks interesting.
That's one word for it.
Like, even if she was into it, it still wouldn't look particularly good, I don't think.
Yeah, I suppose
Kind
you're
of like
right.
they've overdone it just a bit.
Just a little bit.
And they're all smiling, and even Mr. Smiley, he's always smiling. It's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Smiley recognizes that she's a little bit nervous
Yeah,
about it.
Mr. Smiley he's a showman himself, you know? Have we had that? We've not had that episode yet, have we, with Mr. Smiley?
No, that's Future Boys Ultron.
Yeah, that's the one.
Season 4 or something. We've got a while.
Great episode.
That is a good episode.
But yeah. Jamie's on. Barb's out of glitter.
Yeah, Barbara
She
gets
leaves it
some
with
more
Steven.
glitter.
And she sees all the cool people. And probably more importantly still, Lars.
Yes.
There.
Not sure Sadie really wants to perform in front of Lars.
No. And Steven still doesn't get it.
As Sadie's mum, as Barbara leaves, Sadie's like, well, now's my chance. I can actually do things on my own, which means looking out at the crowd, seeing Lars, and getting even more terrified.
Yep. It wasn't a good plan, but it was probably for the best in the long run, because she turned her face in the water, and then finally, gets to say her piece about every time she has an interest or something, Barb comes along and gets way too invested, and then it becomes Barb's thing, and she kind of loses all control over what's happening. And Steven did not help, unfortunately.
Yeah. Steven trying to just correct her lipstick after she drinks it and wipes it off is like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Indeed, it was. And she talks about how she did want to do this, but again, it's not her thing at this point. And it's clear that Barb didn't realize this, and once again brings us back to, if you lie to your parents, even if in this case it's not lying but just not being honest with them about, hey, can you not do that, they kind of keep doing it.
Yeah, I don't know if I call it lying rather than just like being deceptive in this case.
Well, it's not directly lying like Connie was doing, but as in, this is not the first time this has happened. This has happened at least 3 other times, potentially more, and Sadie has never brought it up.
Yeah.
This is the first time that she's actually spoken to Barb about the fact that she doesn't like it when she does this. Or at least that's how it seems to me.
Yeah, you're right.
Which again,
though I guess it's not something that you can really blame either party.
No, it's one of those things which is like, you can totally see why she probably hasn't brought it up. Like, I imagine all those other things probably happened when she was younger as well. So, whereas she's an adult now, so
I mean, it's a bit sort of scary, isn't it? If your mother is, she's giving you attention and she's happy.
And she's happy and she's excited for you. So you don't want to be like, can you not be like that? Because that seems rude and mean. And
yeah, exactly.
I want to phrase it wrong and be like, just hurt their feelings. But there's a point where you just got to be honest.
You got to assert your own boundaries.
And 9 times out of 10, people respect that. And Barb does. She now that she realizes, but they've not got time for that because Sadie's on. And so she's kind of panicking. So we cut to the stage, and it's Steven. Because of course it's Steven.
Yeah, of course it's Steven.
And I think it is a gay couple.
All right.
Yes, with the son. Don't want to assume too much, but I'm pretty sure.
I didn't see
them next
I haven't
to
been watching
Nana
it.
and Kiki.
Ah.
But yeah, it's Steven. And he does it's very Steven.
Very Steven.
You know, and this is not the last time we'll see him in a dress.
No.
Oof. And to be fair, it looks much better on him as well.
Yeah, it does. But the lyrics to this song are a little bit sussy.
What are they? I don't remember. I can find out. I've got the thing up.
I can't help it if I make a scene. I'm stepping out of my hot pink limousine.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
I'm turning heads and I'm stopping traffic. When I pose, they scream, and when I joke, they laugh. I got a pair of eyes that they're getting lost in, hypnotized by the way I'm walking. Got them dazzle burst like a stage magician. When I point, they look, and when I talk, they listen. Obviously, at the start, you've got on the surface, you've obviously got it's just famous and stand out.
Making it, yeah.
But also, there's a couple of references in there to Pink Diamond. You know, like a hot pink limousine is like the pink legs.
You're right.
When I pose, they scream, and when I joke, they laugh. Is all sorts of. That's what the diamonds are. They're sort of like unquestioned rulers that.
Yeah.
People react to. Pair of eyes that they're getting lost in is the diamond eyes.
Yep.
Yeah. Point they look, when I talk they listen is even more sort of like a dictatorial diamond. Very true,
very true.
Everybody needs a friend, and I've got you and you and you, so many I can't even name them. Can you blame me? I'm too famous. Is like is a bit like how such fame can leave you lonely.
Yeah.
Saying I've got you and you and you, I guess, is presumably like the three other diamonds.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this could be about Steven as well.
Yeah.
Because Steven's got pearl and garnet and amethyst. And also, Steven kind of considers everyone a friend.
Yeah.
But
he can name them.
That's true. I imagine he can name most of them.
But again, you know, it is a song.
Probably can't name all of the gems because there's a heck of a lot of them.
No, none of them can. I mean, think about Spinel.
Yeah.
Very close friend to Pink Diamond.
Steven can't name them, that's for sure.
She left her. Oh, that song.
There's a little bit like remember Just a Comet? That song? This one's a bit similar because it's like because that one at the end it says fly like a comet, soar like a comet, crash like a comet.
Yeah.
And this one is I'm a star coming into view as the world is turning, but also everyone can see me burning.
Yep.
And obviously burning there is like everyone is exposed to every part of you. Yeah. Everything that you give out, including your flaws. And I guess the fact that Pink Diamond's probably like lonely.
Yeah. Which is the way of fame, just as a more general rule as well.
It's a song about fame and how it's a double-sided coin.
Indeed.
Like most coins, in fact. That didn't make sense.
Double-edged blade.
Double-edged blade, sure. But on one edge, you've got chocolate, and on the other edge, you've got porcupines.
Sure. I mean, not all blades are double-edged, so it does just work as a analogy anyway. But yes, also chocolate and porcupines, I guess.
Yeah. Didn't think about that, eh?
Yeah. And yeah, well, Stephen's performing, which is very, flamboyant and Stephen like.
And it does cut back to Sadie singing it in
cut
the
back to
privacy of their own warehouse.
Well, first we get Barb and Sadie just having a moment of understanding.
They do. They're talking to each other.
Indeed. And then Stephen throws glitter everywhere, and then they're just in the back room, and Stephen's playing his ukulele, and she's just singing the song.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice and chill, and that's the end. Singing Sadie will return.
Oh, I wish they made a full version of this song that wasn't a minute long and was actually like 3 minutes, and then they brought it for Eurovision. Except it's American, so it'd be American vision.
Work, but also, there's so many songs in Steven Universe where it's like, damn, why is there not a full-length version of this?
It's true. And the full-length versions of songs that are on YouTube, where like people remix them, tend to just be the same lyrics repeated again.
Yeah, exactly. Like again, we're not there yet, but It's Over, isn't it? Or whatever exactly how it's called is long enough by itself because it's a very musical episode.
That's true. That one's nice
and familiar as well. Which
do you mean the song Familiar, or
the song Familiar?
Saying that It's Over, Isn't It, is quite a familiar song.
It is a familiar song. No, Familiar the song.
Yes, that one's also good.
That one, again, we'll get to it, but that's the song I listened, and I was like, because I mean, Steven's voice actor could always sing, but it was that song where I was like, he can really sing.
Yeah,
such a good voice.
It's great
because it's much more. It's much less Kid Steven. It's much more just Steven. Sing Steven. It's we'll get to that in like a couple of years or something, but for now, we've done it. We've wrapped up Sadie's song.
And Nightmare Hospital. Two similar episodes. Sadie's song being not quite as good, in my opinion.
No, definitely not. But still has some important stuff.
Yeah, I think people dislike it more than perhaps it deserves.
That tends to be how people work, so yeah. It's not an episode that I particularly go back to or think of yet, because it is quite just annoying. With Sadie just kind of not getting listened to anything, but that is the point. But yeah, that is it.
That is it.
So we will leave it here. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Where we do catch and release.
Indeed, probably just catch and release. Maybe others, but probably just that. We will see. But until then, we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Cabincast. For more episodes, go to www.cabincast.podbean.com or use the Podbean app. You can now also find us on iTunes and Pocket Casts under Cabincast and on YouTube. The uploads here are quite behind. Finally, you can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Cabincast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.